Hi, everyone. Oh my gosh, it's the spring season. Can you believe it? Welcome to Your Best You. Come on in. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Cat.
And I'm Joan Kazmarzik, her co-host. Welcome.
Welcome. And Rue's here. Crystal's outside right now. We had a little bit of a snow dusting this morning, so kind of neat. And yesterday was 50 degrees.
Yes, it was.
So that was
mid-50s, as a matter of fact. And sunny and warm.
I have something. What could it be? Oh, it could be a mirror. And what do you see? You see in the background probably something very interesting like us. But that, theme of mirror, mirror, and taking a look at yourself in self-care and self-love is what Your Best You is all about. If you're a first-time viewer, welcome in and feel free to stop in the shows that we've had from the couple of years going on now on YouTube on demand. With Nutmeg TV videos on demand, you can select a lot of cool shows, so have fun.
Yes, they have quite the selection.
Have fun. Yeah, Ruby had such a fun day yesterday, speaking of fun, that he doesn't know how to calm down just yet, so he's still in the fun lane.
Crystal, on the other hand, was tired. And actually, a tired husky is a good husky. So that was a good thing. She got to run around and get some energy out that she doesn't normally get to do because she got to run loose in the kennel area.
Yeah, she had fun.
She did.
Lots of fun. So, the thing about the chakras and the show is, as you've probably garnered, is that I'm taking 1 through 7, and then I go through them a second time, and then I go through them a third time. But each time I'm doing 1 through 7. So there's an opportunity to keep gleaning more information, but also an opportunity to self-reflect and have the chance to give yourself the break of grace and growth. And I'm going to let you get Crystal when you feel ready. It's that time of the year. We're in the new season. Joan's going to get Crystal in. And, we're right around in here in reality. We're actually at February, Valentine's Day. And so we're in Chakra 1, which is the color red. And there we go. And now Crystal's back in the house. So the heart chakra, which I often talk about, but the color red. And red is the color that we have in February, which I thought was kind of neat, for Valentine's Day. And oftentimes there was just a sense of Valentine's Day for romantic partners exclusively. But in reality, Valentine's Day is a day to spread love and light, And the children would do it in the schools with the candies.
Right.
And then the adults would do it. And we have Galatine on Valentine. And it's also Super Bowl Sunday, Puppy Bowl, Kitty Bowl. So there's a lot going on right now.
Yes, there is.
It's February.
It's a busy day.
So,
busy season.
I thought because in honor of February, I'd bring in some different kinds of chocolate. Alter Ego chocolate. You know me, I'm all organic. So Alter Ego chocolate. Of course, the lettering is backwards, as you know, Joan.
Yep, I know it.
And the baking chocolate.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah. And here, because I work live, some of the old rules of broadcasting, which was never turn your back to the camera, inch away. So sometimes you see me inching, and sometimes you see me just a turning. And then, of course, because I have a lot of that's a husky underfoot. I brought raspberries, because raspberries are so delicious, right? Get a nice shot of the raspberries. They're beautiful, aren't they? Yummy on raspberries, right? Oh. Raspberries. So good. So, chakras 1 through 7. The colors of the rainbow. Joan will give them to you.
Reggie Biff. red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. I'm missing one.
She's casting on her way up.
I'm trying to think. Red, orange, yellow, green.
Joan's been with me for a couple years doing this.
I'm missing one. I can't think of what it is. Purple and yellow. Purple and indigo.
Indigo violet.
Indigo violet, yeah.
So indigo and violet and red. Well, violet is kind of like the white, and red is the base. So I kind of put the two together. And then, I've got the critters of love and light all around me all the time. All right, so I thought it's an interesting time to talk about Chakra 1. We always keep it fresh and relevant here. Always keep it fresh and relevant. And Chakra 1, as I've talked about before, is about your family, your sense of home, survival, right? Chakra 1 is getting your survival needs. But a lot of the primary coded information, you can come up if you want. A lot of the primary coded information that we have, that we build up the other parts, the building blocks of our consciousness, as I've linked it to the consciousness, 7 levels of consciousness. It's all linked together. The trick is, in reality, is to be able to connect the dots. Therein lies the gift and the ability to put things together. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more in Chakra 2, because I'm going to have Joan bring in something that she connects. And so, see that I do sew the shows together in each season to help to build and give information, specifically as a pay it forward to my community. When you bless others, you're blessed. And so that's a little bit about Valentine's, is staying in that blessing space. But when we have our first chakra in any way affected, that it's not really at its best, that will therefore inevitably
it's going to affect everything else.
Affect the rest of your development. And we can, as we become conscious, slowly, I think, and this is why I do 1 through 7, 1 through 7, 1 through 7, is because this is how we evolve.
Yeah.
And we just keep allowing ourselves the grace of going through the levels of the development, and always keep that humble, what we used to call in yoga, a beginner's mind. So that every time you came to the plate, no matter what you're doing, even with the levels of skill that we have, if we approach it with a beginner's mind, it opens up the possibilities of new information to come in. But when we go in with the sense that I don't need any more information, I have enough, I already have the answers, nothing is going to be provided for you. You've already essentially told the universe, I really don't need you, universe. Or anything that you have to share with me.
Yeah.
And this thing about living with all these other people, well, I have my own plan, and I'm going to do this, so. And this thing you have about, being kind and caring and compassionate to one another. Well, I like the Cro-Magnon days when we used to just club each other over the head or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I like the ways of the past when we used to keep women as chattel and they had to be quiet. This is the past. And do we really want to continue to have to go through the things of the past in order to get ahead? As I've said before, perhaps it is part of the evolutionary process. I'm not sure. I am processing as I am sharing in many ways. I'm open to the possibilities that if there's right and wrong, I could be right and I could be wrong. But maybe there isn't a right and a wrong. Maybe there's an infinite.
Yeah.
And we limit it with our boundaries.
Right.
But we need healthy boundaries because that's what Chakra 1 is all about. When you have a healthy Chakra 1, your boundaries are very healthy. Why? Why do you suppose? Because you've had safety and people haven't violated you. As a child, if you've been violated, you have no concept of what a boundary is because you think that's okay. Do you see what I'm saying? So that development that comes from the parents and from the social settings, at a certain point, if you follow like Erik Erikson in the psychological frames, again, this is all limited human thought, but it's still what we got to work with. And this is how we evolve, hopefully with thought, although a lot of our thought that we had was all the way back BC.
Yeah.
So are we just priori processing, other people's stuff? Maybe, and maybe that's part of the evolution. So then we know that we're not always right or wrong.
Right, exactly.
That we're in process.
We're in process, and if we're in process, that means there are other possibilities.
There's always another possibility,
Yeah.
Infinite possibilities. And that's with a kind of a childlike faith and an open mind. And that's all basic Chakra 1 area because that's how we develop ourselves. If we feel safe and we're fed and we're not like what's happened in our society where we have a kind of a cultural Chakra 1 issue. We have an exorbitant amount of unwanted children. Many of them get thrown into sex trafficking. We don't have control over our sexually transmitted diseases. That population grows and grows and grows. We have drugs, but we don't seem to understand that first chakra and that second chakra is like really sacred space. And how we're in relationship to others tells us a lot about how we're in relationship with ourselves. And some people, as they start to wake up, they want to change their whole, and it's hard to. You can't change your whole past. No, you can't. So you can pattern yourself differently, and there will be people along the way that will meet anew, that will see you as new, but there's always going to be people that are going to see you in an old reflection. And that would tell you something about them too, see?
Yeah.
Because mirror, mirror, as I said, okay? So Chakra 1 is a very interesting area, and it does have a lot to do with our sexuality and how we're in relationship with our sexuality, and how we're in relationship with our body. So when we're in a time right now where we've gone over the top with the virus, when you look at some of the other issues that we've covered in our generations of lifetime, we've never really before handled it quite this way. This is very interesting. And
that's an understatement.
There was a lot of human development going on during this particular time in history, and a lot of people claim to have woke. So there's a lot that's gone on, and only time will tell how this one situation in history plays out over time. A lot's been done. A lot of what I would always call sleight of hand. You're not going to pay attention to this that's over here that's really important because I got you over here. Sleight of hand.
Keeping the attention.
And then what just happened? How did that happen? I don't even know how that happened.
Yeah.
Well, I'm tired. So the whole society is going to go through this. And so many individuals have suffered and even died. My brother, one of them died unnecessarily because he was caught into the COVID crisis consciousness where, all hell is breaking loose and everybody's trying to find an answer. So everybody's tired and stressed, and a lot of people feel like they've been conned and connived, and there's a lot that's going on right now. And if you're in the middle of it, which you are, because we're kind of all in it, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
But we're not. You see what I'm saying? And I've said that from the beginning. Okay. Yeah, I said it from the start that this was coming and something was going to be like really not what we were expecting. But when you think of chakra 1, which if we want to consider, that's where we are right now. So we woke on a certain level of consciousness at 7. We got to a place where we were like, okay, I get it. Okay, but now we got to go back down to 1 and rebuild. You're not like, I've arrived, because it's not about the goal. It's about the process. It's not about getting to the vacation house. It's about packing and getting the tickets and getting on the plane.
Yeah.
All that's part of the joy of the process. Or the pain.
Yeah.
You know, the pain now is part of the joy later, and vice versa. So in the chakra 1, you know, it's kind of that limited level of our system. This is where we're going to have to make our boundaries. And when you think about a baby, when a baby is born, right? We talked about levels of consciousness. As it starts to develop in its brain and its levels of consciousness, it's gonna eventually get to the point where it's crawling.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna get to the point where it's
walking,
and it's gonna run away and try to get away from everything that's there, because it's like, I'm done with this. I'm number 7. I woke up. I just, because you know,
I'm
I always keep
free.
it light. I always keep it light. But you know, that's basically where we are. We're in the root chakra of red, and it's earth. So I put on a little, you know, brown and greeny thing, because every one of the levels of the chakra is related. And earth, think of it. Well, you got to be grounded.
Yeah,
When I talk about chakra 1, I talk about being grounded. So here we are at chakra 1, where you can ground yourself as spring is coming. You can take a walk outside, and this will help to strengthen, okay? And you can, I know this is a hard one. You know, I got a husky right under me, you know me. She's going to be under me no matter what. So, and a chihuahua behind me, and I squeezed in here, and there's all that. I laugh at myself. I'm a fool for love, you see. I love my critters, right? But yeah, so, you know, being able to ground and get that chakra 1 rooted down, and being able to allow yourself the ability right now to say, okay, I woke up and now I get it, at least at this level, because there's going to, guess what? If you get to the next level, you got to start over at the ground level again to get back up. This is how we grow. You know, I've never been a thing about entering at a ground level, but don't think I'm going to stay there.
Right.
I didn't come in at the ground level to stay at the ground level.
Yeah.
I'm climbing.
Exactly.
I'm growing. I'm moving along, you know. Maybe in my way now, see. But, you know, I think that's, you know, it's part of who we are as a human, and everybody's different. So, you know, some people are like, well, I just want to be here. I'm happy right at the ground level, and that works for me. And then that's like, great. Then that's the type of person, the perfect place for that thing.
Yeah.
So we only have about, you know, a little bit of time left, and I don't want to over inundate us with too much heavy stuff. But I think I'm just trying to emphasize, most importantly, in this particular first season show of Chakra 1 in 2022, on a Valentine weekend with the Super Bowl happening, right? And the snow coming down gently outside, which is really pretty. But is that, you know, the grace and the forgiveness to be able to just take things, as I always say, in baby steps, you know.
Yeah.
It isn't something unusual. How long did I say? Try something, the bike, for 5 minutes. Do it for 5 minutes and see how it works. I guarantee if it's a positive aspect, your body will vibrate to a certain frequency, and
Sure.
you will almost like want it, you see. So these are the little ways that I have used my little methods to help move me along. And even on a day when, say, I'm not feeling very good, I don't I don't lay around.
That's true. That's very true.
I will get myself up and doing into a motion of something.
Yeah.
And I could have crawling on the ground. No. So it's that kind of, you're almost there. All you had to do was roll into the sacred pool and you could be healed, right? How long have you been at that side there? Why don't you just pick up your mat and walk now? What's taking you so long to get? So we can slowly roll, but there's a certain point where we go, that I can't go any further. I've hit my limit with love, right? Or whatever. I'm teasing because it's a V-Day time. So, but I'm never going to, open my heart
Right.
to this again.
Right.
And
right.
and
And there are a lot of people that do that.
Yeah, but what you're doing is you're
And
shutting off
you're
your
shutting it,
life
yeah.
to the emotional
Exactly.
beauty of existence in intimacy,
I know.
not sex, which is maybe an expression of intimacy, but right now in our culture it tends to be more about power, and it's not really so much. It's more. It's still a funny little thing, in our culture now, here in this history in 2022, and maybe in the year 3000, we may have a better handle of it. But I think we're still, really hit that kind of primitive area where that chakra 1 is not really cared for when we're developing, because we didn't have the consciousness. Parents before us didn't know anything. Children, we were thrown around in vehicles, and then they became, I'm awake now. Now we know we want to put children in car seats, and I'm awake now. We don't want to just leave animals outside, and so we're slowly getting there. But this chakra 1, it's the tough one, because it really is our sacred soul contract, with the universe. This is where it all happens, right down here. And by the time we're here in the heart, we're hoping that this was developed well, because if it isn't developed well, you're going to have heart issues, and not just in the cardiac way, which will show up if you have psychological and emotional and physiological, it's all connected. So if you've been poorly treated and you never got to develop your lower chakras, your heart chakra will be weak. And you'll see people die of what they call heartbreak and things like that.
Yeah.
Or, they just couldn't make it, they gave up. That's the will, which is 3. And the will's weak because 1's weak. You build a house brick upon brick. And if you're a really good builder, which I've known because I've worked with them, in the brownstone laying when I was a child, we had to do a lot of manual labor, my older brother and I. Not the 2 young ones, but we did, the older ones. And carrying brownstone, building a brownstone wall, the Irish, whatever. Crazy father. But anyway, if you're a really good layer, you don't need any mortar. And that's how I learned, this precision surgeon stuff. Anyway, you lay the brick just perfect. And if you have to cut a little bit so it lays just perfect, you don't have to put anything in it, because like the pyramid, the brick upon the brick, or the brownstone.
Yep.
All right, well, that's chakra 1. And I know Joan's going to be a lot more talkative in chakra 2, because I'm going to have her displaying to you some things. But I want, to emphasize that be gentle with yourself, be loving and kind, be forgiving, do all the things that you might have lacked as you were growing up, that you may be aware of now, and go, I really had kind of a messed up this or that, and it really didn't support this part of my development. You can do it now. Start to do things. And as I've said, the positive affirmations, I've used them for decades, and I find them extremely effective. Feed your mind with that, and watch how you change your relationship with yourself. And as you change your relationship with yourself, you change your relationship with others. And then as you change your relationship with others, others begin to change. And this whole change agent can be really a wonderful way that humans are interacting with one another in love and light, recognizing that we're all fallible and that we can have the ability, because we're human beings, to relate to that fallibility and practice forgiveness and share kindness and care about one another. And it's a beautiful thing, Chakra One. I hope you had a lovely time just listening to us talk about a little bit. Mostly it was me this time. Chakra One is hard, you know. I'll ask Joan, and so I just kind of poured it out a little bit today from some avenue that I hope, helps to open up a portal for yourself to use Valentine's Day and every day as a day to self-love and self-care, and watch yourself glow up and watch what happens with your world. Blessings. Take care, and I'll see you in Chakra 2.
Bye,
All the critters finally calmed down, right? Of course, I'm here, hovering. All right, love you guys. See you soon. You want to say anything?
Have a wonderful Valentine's Day, everyone. And we wish you lots of love.
All right, I guess that's
Lots
it.
of love and enjoy. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Welcome, I'm Nick Augustino. I'd like to welcome you to the Clam Box, where we do seafood our way. We got lobster roll, fried clams, fish and chip, fried shrimp, and our famous onion rings. We put a lot of precaution into the safety for you and your family. Not only do we use plexiglass at the cash register and sanitizer, we all wear gloves and we all keep a 6-foot distancing, and everybody must wear a mask. We carry all the options. We got DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and of course, we got curbside where we bring it right to your car. Online ordering is available at clamboxnewbritain.com or by calling us at 860-357-3118. The Clam Box, 586 West Main Street, New Britain.